Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So Anthony Joshua, I believe he is the number one rated heavyweight right now. He's a unified champion. I'll have him as the top heavyweight right now on paper. Doesn't necessarily mean I think that he can beat everybody. That has to be seen. But I have him number one. I actually favored him over Klitschko when a lot of people were telling me that he's too young, he's too raw, he's too stiff, he's too all this stuff. I favored him to knock out Klitschko. All right, I like Anthony Joshua. But like with all fighters, I may like that fighter, but I don't necessarily like everything that they say or every move that they make. And Anthony Joshua, I heard an interview today. Shouts out to my man Boxing Beats and Rhymes. I'm gonna leave the interview in the comment section for you guys. All right, so I heard this interview, and Anthony Joshua regarding the Wilder fight, he's all over the place. One minute he's like, yeah, me, the fighter, I'll fight him in Wembley. I'll fight him anytime. But, I want to do what's best for my career. He brought up his health. He brought up his manager and trainer. What else did he bring up? Then he even said, and this is what he said, man. He said, so yeah, if the fight can take place next year or the year after that or the year after that. Now, even if you're a big AJ fan and you hate Wilder, you think Wilder's a bum, that's cool. But come on, you guys, let's be serious, man. Do we really want to hear that as fans the year after that, or the year after that, or the year after that? We're talking 2020, 2019. We don't want to hear that, man. We know that Wilder and Joshua is the fight to make. The situation that just happened with Ortiz, whether you think it's conspiracy or whether you think he is juiced to the gills, regardless, he seems as if he's out the way for right now. So Wilder and Joshua seem as if it's becoming closer. Joshua has Pulev coming up. I can't wait for the fight. Wilder taking on Stavern, although it's a fight that we're not clamoring for, most of us as fans. It is a mandatory. I'm waiting for that fight to get done. So then we can move on to this Wilder and Joshua. Eddie Hearn has came out numerous times and said that Wilder will be made next year. And it still can possibly happen, but just listening to Joshua, and I understand, he's in the Floyd Mayweather seat right now. He's in the Oscar De La Hoya seat as far as being the cash cow, right? So I understand he's in the Canelo seat. He's the cash cow. So he has a lot of options, but he has to quit. Well, he can do what he want to do, but for me, I think as a fan, he can't just think that people are just calling his name out just because of the money. There are some people out there that really want to fight you because not only they get paid, but they really think that they can beat you. And I think Deontay Wilder believes he can, regardless of what his fans argue about. But for AJ to say 2019 and when the time is, then the man even bring up his health, what's best for his health. And once I start hearing fighters talk about their health and all that, it just makes me scratch my head. Like, well, your health is at risk in every fight. Your health is at risk October 28th. I think he's going to beat Pulev, but it's always at risk. So when I start hearing that, like he's bringing up stuff that will be that you can say for any fight, your health and when the time is right, and it's like the time right, the time is right next year. What do you mean the year after that or the year after that? And then they brought up the winner out of Hay and Bellew, and Joshua saying he has options and not just one fight. Yeah, you have options, but us the fans, the one fight we want to see is the Wilder fight. Now I know some of you, you want to, you guys like to play the game of, oh, let them wait, make them wait. Wait till Joshua has 40 fights. Make Wilder wait until then. Come on, man. What are we, kids here, man? Joshua didn't need 40 fights or 30 fights or whatever to fight Klitschko, and a lot of fans view Klitschko as being way better than Wilder. Although he was at the end of his career, some fans think that Klitschko would have beat Wilder that night. So if you didn't need all this, ample time to get ready for Klitschko, why do you need that time for Wilder if he's viewed as the lesser fighter? Unless Joshua doesn't see it like that. Us fans can argue all day until we're blue in the face about who's a bum. We can do all that. But these fighters know, man. Deep down in his mind, he's not thinking like a fan. He's the one that has to get in there with the dude. So he's like, shit, the fans can say what they want, man, but I view that guy as a threat. it was just disappointing to hear this, man. Again, this doesn't necessarily mean it won't happen next year, but even he was saying it's not. This is what he said. It's not about just putting on a show for the promoter. Eddie Hearn has said that this fight will happen next year. So why is he even saying it's not about just, he talking about, I'm going to listen to my manager and trainer, which is probably something that he does a lot. I don't know. I don't know, but I just don't see how you didn't need time for Klitschko, and he's viewed as a better fighter by a lot of fans, at least. He's viewed as a better fighter than Wilder. But now you're telling me about your health. I mean, what's next? You're going to tell me about your religion, your faith? I mean, yes, I know you're the cash cow and you don't have to be pinned down to one fight and you get to call the shots and you're the A side and people should kneel down and kiss your feet. Okay, cool, man. But this is where the heavyweight division is becoming whack to me, man. And I'm a long fan and viewer of the heavyweight. You guys have heard me say this. It's like a broken record now. Since the 80s, I've been watching it religiously. VHS tapes, Tuesday night fights, HBO, Showtime, CBS, ABC, Sports. I mean, and then when the internet came around, watching fights on YouTube, but it's just becoming whack with the drug test issues and with guys trying to, let me start building in the background, wanting to build fights and, let's build the fight, let's construct the fight, a fight that we all want to see. One guy saying, I want to unify and fight them as soon as possible. Then you got one guy saying next year, the year after that, the year after that. And I know some of you going to say, hey, well, you didn't say that when Floyd Mayweather was doing these types of things. I've never been a fan of, A-side, cash cow behavior. Like, I've never was a fan of that. So I'm the wrong guy. I'm the wrong guy. And what I mean by that is I'm the wrong guy to debate with that about. You've never heard me here. You've never heard me say, oh yeah, flex your A-side muscle on your opponents, pick the ring and the glove size. That's just never been like that, man. That's never really moved me as a fan. Never. It never has. All right, now that doesn't mean that that's not the business of boxing, but the business really doesn't. I know it. I read on it, but it's never really moved me like that. I just want to see dudes fight, not flex your A-side muscle. Like, I just want to see the fight. I'm a norm. When it comes to boxing, man, I try to keep it simple because that's always, that's how I've always watched boxing. Although it can be complicated at times, but I just want the fight, yo. Ring size, venue, glove, I'll leave that to the managers and their teams. Man, this is just getting frustrating, man. Hopefully this was just AJ I don't even know, man. Hopefully this is him just talking about, because he did say on one side of my shoulder, I'm saying fight him right now. Then the other side of my shoulder, I'm saying when is the best time for my career? It's like I'm confused, man. I'm confused. So hopefully he listens to whichever shoulder it was with the guy telling him to fight him as soon as possible. Hearn said it's gonna be 2018. I know you have your mandatory, right? So let's take care of the mandatory. It's just whack, man. We'll see when 2018 rolls around. Guys talk like this, but then, things can change, man. So let Joshua take care of Pulev and Wilder and Stavern rematch, and then 2018. Hopefully, fingers crossed that was it the left or right shoulder tells him to fight him, and he listens to Eddie Hearn because Eddie Hearn wants it. Eddie Hearn, I liked Eddie Hearn's plans when he came up with those plans a few months ago when he was saying it's Pulev, Ortiz, then Wilder. I love those plans. So now it seems like it's Pulev, we can scratch Ortiz, and then let's get Wilder. I heard Parker be thrown in there, but I want the Wilder fight 2018, not 19, not 20. Not 21, let's just get the fight. And all this, he only has 19 fights. Yeah, but you're a unified champion. The training wheels come off now. If you have 2 fights, if you turn pro and you have 2 fights and you win a world title, training wheels should come off, in my opinion. I understand you're going to have those defenses where you're at home and you're going to, milk the title for a little bit. That's just the history of boxing. You're going to milk the title for a little bit, get some hometown fights or home venue fights. Get some title defenses. I understand that, man, but we're thirsty, man. And even if you're a big AJ fan and you just want to argue the fact, and that's fine. But come on, y'all, we're thirsty for a big mega fight, man. If it's so easy and he's in a fight, so the guy's so easy to beat and he doesn't have any skill and he's a paper champion and all that. Well, then I would just rather see Joshua just wipe him out and get him up out of here. I'm not one of them dudes where, you know, by any means, let's have a title holder from the U.S. No, man, because that's whack. I want our title holder to be the man if he's a title holder. Just like the UK fans, you want Joshua to be the man. Okay, he beat Klitschko, but there's more stuff to do. It's not like you beat Klitschko, now relax. What about this era? That's the ending of a old era. Now what about this era? Kiwi fans, don't y'all want JP to be the man, or you just want him to be a title holder? The geography doesn't really matter to me where you're from, man. I just want to be whoever is the man. I want somebody to be the man. Can't have three dudes walk around saying they're the man. That's whack, man. That's whack. Just my opinion, man. I'm gone, man.